Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be a summary of the UTA powerlifting team's mock meet that was held at Arlington Strength and Conditioning. Arlington Strength and Conditioning is a great gym. If you haven't been there, check it out. It's a really wonderful place, and I want to thank them for allowing UTA to be there. So, first part of this video is going to be a recap of the meet. Here you see me handling one of the lifters. His name is Brian. He's a really great guy. I was just noticing his squats had a lot of restrictions, so I gave him a quick tip on some mobility of the hips with some banded distractions, opening up his hips. And before this, you saw us giving just a quick rules meeting. If you've never competed, a rules meeting is going to be customary before the meet actually starts, where a judge just goes over all of the expectations of the day for what qualifies as a good lift. But I'll do a more in-depth first meet tutorial later on. This is going to be strictly just how the day went. This was on Saturday, so here you see me just going with Brian, just letting him know what should happen during his squat in terms of his ankle mobility and his hip mobility. This was his third attempt. This was, I believe, approximately 245, maybe even a little bit less. Sorry, Brian. But regardless, he smokes it easy. Got all the commands, and it was a good lift. I was head judge. We had Josh on the side and then Mikey on the other side. This is Big Jadeep. This was his third attempt as well. This is 380 on the bar right now. And there you go, you see Mikey is on the side judge. But Jadeep gets this again, no problem. Really, throughout the day on the squat, we had a lot of good lifts. It was, as I mentioned, Brian, Jadeep, and third lifter was Shafiq. Shafiq actually had some prior meet experience, so he kind of knew what he was doing, but these guys did really well with squat. There were a couple of hiccups here with the squat commands, with the squat and the rack command. There was a couple of misses, but all in all, they did really well on their third attempts, so Shafiq getting really riled up. This was 400 pounds. Here you see him setting up. Ruth in the background, she's about to tell me to be quiet. If you look on the left side of the screen, because prior to this lift, I may have spoken before I said rack that caused Shafiq to rack his weight prematurely, but regardless, he smoked it. So here you go, Shafiq, 400 pounds, easy peasy. Again, these guys are from UTA Powerlifting. They're doing amazingly well, and Arlington Strength allowed them to use the facilities for their mock meet, so it was a great atmosphere just to hang out with these guys. There you go, see Brian and Jadeep in the background. Ooh. And Brian's third attempt on bench. I captured the third attempt just for the sake of time, but here you see Brian had an issue with not allowing the bar to come to a complete stop, so he didn't get the pause command for Mikey fast enough, which caused him to miss on there. But that's something he can easily fix in the future, and I'm sure he can push some heavy weight, definitely heavier weight to come. And here's Shafiq. This being 240. There we go. Mikey was really, I don't want to say strict, but he was he was very by the books with his pause command, so he waited for a complete stop, absolutely, and he was not given any leeway. So bench it didn't have the greatest ratio of success in terms of lifts, but it was still a great time. Moving on to deadlifts. Brian actually was the black horse in this race, because he had told me his prior max was 265, and I chose his attempts based off of what he had told me. Here you go, Shafiq. This being 370, and it was a grinder. Everybody everybody was yelling. Everybody wanted Shafiq to get it. Did he lock it out? In my opinion, I wasn't a judge. I can't say. Josh and Andrew gave it to him though. So that's still a big lift for Shafiq. So congratulations there, Shafiq. And here comes Jadeep. 375. Now Jadeep, he had this easy. It comes off the ground real quick, but grip just wasn't there at the time, so he had to drop it. But here you see Brian again. What I mean by black horse is you see him locking out 315 easy peasy here, when he told me his prior max last semester was 265. So I don't know what Brian was talking about, but I'm glad that the UTA powerlifting team had us out there to help judge and just help with the meet a little bit, just help make sure that it's run correctly and that they had enough people. But here we decided to get some lifts in after the mock meet. So here goes Josh with 405, still warming up, but making sure that he set himself up. This day he went for 450, and oof, big boy. He went for 450 for a couple of sets. I believe it was 3 sets of 2 reps, but he used some of my Elite FTS branded NH3 inhale ammonia, which if you've ever tried this stuff, it is like a ton of bricks, way more than nose torque in my opinion, and way more than those caps that people break. But Josh getting hyped up. He just throws my bottle on the ground, disrespectful, but I forgave him for it. Getting set up for this 450. Is 450? Yeah, 450. Wearing that nice and clean, natty SBD black and white singlet. Setting up. Oof. Using the FUPA power. Got it. Easy. Josh's deadlift's gone up significantly. His next meet's going to be the Summer Power Fest down in Houston.
Oh shit! Mike, you're gonna get us kicked out.
I think it's going to be a central theme in my videos now, to have Mikey doing something that just causes us to turn our heads. But here you see me and him. I believe this is called mass wrestling. We just wrestle over a stick. We had some fun. It's definitely safe to say that Arlington Strength has some great equipment, and the view is just it's just beautiful. It's like right behind an airport. And it's just magnificent. I would love to just come here in the morning and see the sunrise. But anyways, we were hitting up some tire deadlifts. Mikey was saying this was 330 pounds, but there's no way that was 330 pounds, no more than 220. We all just decided to give it a shot though. You see me, you see Josh going up to it. Andrew in the red. Andrew, again with UTA Powerlifting. Brian just came out of the back, but we all decided to give it a go because Mikey was just dead certain that this tire that said it was 585, I think there was some spray paint on the side that said 585. Mikey was just dead certain that it was 330 pounds, and we decided to row it. And at that point, he was like, "Nah, okay, maybe it's not 330 pounds." Mikey's the kind of guy, he'll say, "Well, my floor press max is 315, so if I can get this for 3 reps, then it's probably like 275. That's the math that he uses. So he just decided to lay down and floor press this tire deadlift. And then I decided to just do a couple of sets of squat this day. This week's been pretty hectic, so I haven't been able to finish my entire programmed week, but I still wanted to get some above parallel pause squats in. So you see me warming up. I really take my time warming up. I have, in my opinion, some really tight hips and really tight hamstrings, so in order for me to just feel good while I'm squatting, I take some time with just the bar, just the plate, take some extra sets just to get everything feeling good. I'll do some static stretches, but something about the bar here felt really weird. It felt like it was uneven to a point where I felt like I was going to fall. This was 335, the highest I've ever done with above parallel pauses. But I mean, they didn't feel bad, they felt good, but looking at it, you can see that when I pause, I dip kind of down. Now, that's not what I would want to see in an above parallel pause, so definitely going forward, I'm going to work on maintaining that pause. But here you see my unrack was a little bit weird. I don't know what it was, but Josh and Mikey had to help me out with making sure that the bar was correctly placed on my back. And there you go, see, just that, I don't know what it was, but that pause, in my opinion, just was not set enough. Again, yeah, that slight dip, but it's all right. We'll keep going. We'll get better, and we'll keep making some gains. I'd say one of the highlights of the day was jumping up on these high-ass monkey bars and finally getting it, because I literally thought I was gonna try so hard to the point that I got injured, because I'm just that hard-headed. But once I got on it, man, it felt amazing. To the point where once I got all the way to the end, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go backwards on this beach, and I got it. But again, that just goes to show what training or what performing in front of a group of people will do for you, because everybody was cheering me on and everybody kept throwing out tips. Shafiq was like, just jump and get it, dog. Your fingers are already on the bar. So appreciate everybody who uh, amused me and humored my antics there. But me and Mikey, little known fact is that I look to Mikey as a father figure, and for me and him to just kind of take some time out of our days to play catch with this 14-pound medicine ball really just makes me feel good. Sometimes I'll wait up on the steps and wait for him to get off work, and you know, I see his car pull up and he has his baseball mitt on, and I know that we're about to get into some things. So here we go. Mikey doing the back behind the neck trick, and that was that. That was it. And we were blessed by Joseph Wynn's presence. You see him here doing his EDM dance to get a bench press lift, or to get a bench press lift off, and you know, how can we turn that down? So he was going for a max today. This was 275, and or no, that was 265, and he was upset because he was expecting to go for a little bit less on his second attempt. And you see him here dancing a little bit, but he eventually worked up to 275 as well. So we couldn't record that because the video was, or we didn't have enough battery in the camera, but it was amazing. It was an amazing feat. Speaking of feet, we had Mikey trying on the gravity boots, and I mean, he tried them on, but he didn't really use them. But in his defense, they were pretty scary to try. Josh decided to jump on there afterwards, and gravity boots, the use would be for spinal decompression. Once you're hanging upside down, you're able to allow your vertebrae to separate a little bit and relieve a lot of the pressure if there's a lot of load placed on your spine. So they have a use for it, but we were kind of goofing a little bit because we've never seen them, we've never tried them on before. Josh ended up being Batman. Just covering up his shame a little bit though. But not to be one to be overshown or to be showed off, I decided to try them on myself. Listen to this. Yep, Josh just let me go, bang myself against the rack. And to go ahead and sign out on the video, again, I want to thank UTA Powerlifting for having us, for trusting us enough to judge their meet and to participate in it. It was a very fun time. Thank you guys so much. I want to say thanks to Arlington Strength for allowing UTA to join in and to use the facilities. That was great. That was a wonderful thing to do. Guys, that was a video. If you like it, leave a like, share it, comment, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos in the future, and definitely let us know if there's anything you want to see. Some shout outs. I want to shout out to Josh, Mikey, Ruth for recording this, Jessica for doing the live video, Andrew for helping out judging, Shafiq, Jadeep, and Brian lifting. They were great. Here you see Joey letting us know that he does do cardio.